All right. Without further delay, let's get into it. Part 2 of the Squabble Up video, Symbolism, starring the comments section. Of course, y'all know, or if you didn't know, if this is your first time watching this channel or this video, I already did a part 1 to this. So I went through the symbolisms in the video that I caught in part 1. So check that link out. The link should be at the top of the screen right now, and it'll be in the description and at the end of the video. But this is part 2 featuring the comments. I asked for the comments to chime in, everybody who watched the video, people from LA and people who just saw different things that I didn't mention in part 1, asked them to chime in, and they came through with everything that I missed and so much more. Without further delay, let's get right into it. We're gonna start with the comment by Miss Tamara Whitehurst 8727. She commented, he was CGI'd into the video, meaning Kendrick. The people heard the original track and were told that they were filming a commercial. Some have expressed complete shock that it was actually for a K.video. They never interacted with him. So of course, Kendrick is keeping everything low because people are trying to derail what he's doing. We know who those people are. And awesome to put people in the video. Again, Kendrick showing love to his city and to his state. Let's continue with Quit Pocket Watching Me, who wins the award for one of the best screen names on YouTube. He says the chandelier represents God, which is why when it is touched in the beginning, he says God knows, and it gives that chime like angel, so to speak. And it's illuminated the whole video, and K.Dot is under in the whole video, except when Nate Dogg CD is hanging from it, of course, symbolizing Nate Dogg would be in heaven. That is an awesome observation as well. So shout out to the homie Quit Pocket Watching Me. Next, we have Big Davo 1187. Now he states also the roots reference is in the whole video, and the room is signally saying these are his roots and Black America's roots in hip hop, but definitely so much deeper from this context. And that makes a lot of sense. Using the ode to the roots, the next movement video, everything in this room and in this video symbolizes Kendrick Lamar's roots throughout Compton and the whole West Coast. So we have a couple more about the chandelier. Michaelis09 states that, sorry if I mispronounced your name, but Michaelis09 states that the chandelier isn't that the chandelier from the Compton Casino, and Pretty Cyber 8332 says yes, the Crystal Park Casino. So that's actually a chandelier from the casino spot in Compton. Now we have a comment addressing the belt that Kendrick is wearing that everybody wanted to know about. ZY823 commented that the LA native designer Eli Russell Lynette designed that. I don't think there's a deeper meaning behind it other than the fact that Kendrick is repping West Coast everything. If you look at the belt on the screen, it has a bunch of landmarks and things that signify California, Los Angeles, and the West Coast. Now we get into a couple comments about the young boy standing on the freeway sign. Daniel Melger 8918 commented that the freeway sign and the kid standing on it, the freeway that passes by Compton, those are the exits. The kid is trying to look over the sign. That freeway is high from the ground, pointing out kids from Compton don't get to the city because of gang affiliations. We grow up with those gangs / people where our mama and grandmama stay. Most Black teens don't get to see the beach or the city without a car. Getting caught on the metro is not fun. And shout out to every public transportation place in major cities being dangerous. But that is a great interpretation of the kid, what he's doing on the sign. And he does look like he's trying to look over to trying to get past it some kind of way. So I like that interpretation a lot. Now, Lolo Z33 says, great point about the balloons. She's talking about something in the video. I think the 16 on the boy's shirt can stand for all the friends he's lost. And that, of course, is a shout out to the verse in Whacked Out Murals. Now, she also says something about the 40 being E40. That's the $40 price tag on the Jesus sign. We'll get to that, though, later in the video, but let's continue. Now, getting back to the actual off-ramp sign, there was a lot of debate on which sign it was, but Leroy Jack simply stated that the off-ramp is to where Nickerson Gardens is. Now, that would definitely make the most sense, seeing where Nickerson Gardens is where TDE formed. Now, shout out to Just for Smitty, shout out to Mark Riley 5804, shout out to IC 109, all stating whether or debating whether it was the 105 freeway or the 91 freeway. Now, Pretty Cyber 8332 stated that Long Beach native here. Central Avenue and Long Beach Boulevard are the heartbeats of Compton. The freeway sign is from the 105 freeway going eastbound. So either way you look at it, the freeway represents the boundaries of Compton, so to speak, right? So again, good representation, good interpretation by everybody who participated there. And again, shout out Dave Free, Kendrick, and Cal Matic for putting awesome symbolism throughout this video. So next we go into the young lady who's dancing in the tennis uniform. So Ricky B 1224 said, I think the girl dancing, she's wearing like a tennis skirt. So I'm thinking a tribute to the Williams sisters. That makes perfect sense since Kendrick shouted out Serena in Not Like Us, and both the Williams sisters are from Compton. JP Linton 9396 said the girl is dressed in a tennis player gear. It could be a nod to Serena, of course. Kendra Selman, the girl in scene 1, is dressed similar to Nia Long's character Debbie in Friday. And if you look on the screen here, you can see the shirt is very similar. Kendrick is also dressed similar to Smokey from the same movie. I can get with it because he has on the backwards hat, the blue, the baggy jeans, etc. I can definitely see that. Now, Miss Teak stated that the dance the girl is doing in the beginning is clowning, R.E. Tommy the Clown, who was the innovator of the dance and a major force in Compton, keeping kids out of trouble with dancing. And of course, Tommy the Clown was featured not only at the Pop Out concert, but also in the Not Like Us video. So I definitely see that as a correlation to continue that theme going throughout. Kendrick promoting progress and peace throughout the LA and Compton neighborhoods for sure. Now we get on to the next scene where the sets are represented, the different sets are represented. And we start with a comment from the DJ Ed 19. I guess I'm saying that right. And he states that I think the people in the video and such are Kendrick's LA/Compton state of mind. You can see he's not interacting with the people in the video. So I can definitely agree with that. Also, speaking of the people in the video, Eric Zeno 1013 said that the dude in the striped shirt is RJ Mr. LA, who is an MC from California, pretty well-known MC from California. Now we move on to the clock on the wall next to G Perico. NMC Con 2010 states that the clock on the wall is E40 in a Major Way album cover. And as you see on the screen, in the Major Way album cover by E40, he's inside that watch that looks very similar to the watch that's on the wall in the video. Now, Grady Duncan Jr. 9132 says, yes, they are Hoover stomping, and that's the dancers off to the far right of the video. They're Hoover stomping because all hoods in LA was Hoover's enemies at one point. Kendrick is bringing the gangs together because of revolutionary purposes, just like Tupac and Nipsey wanted to do. And I love the insight that the rest of us are getting around the country from the people from LA and everything, and all the symbolism that Kendrick is putting in the videos and giving us an example of how we can sort of unite things across the country, in my opinion. Giving us a good example of using our music and our talents to build rather than destroy. Shout out to Nas. Let's go. So we switch to the scene that's kind of the Oakland type scene, and Juan Carlos 707 commented, dope video, a lot of stuff going on in this video. Those dudes are turf dancing from Oakland. Also, I'm sure you're going to do an update because there's so much going on. And yes, Juan Carlos, you were definitely right about that. And thanks for clarifying that turf dancing is what it's called. That is popular in the Bay Area. Thank you, Juan Carlos, for making that clear for me. I didn't know exactly what type of dancing it was in the first video. Appreciate that comment. Now we move on to Son of 2022 commented that I think another meaning from the balloons is it symbolizes this upcoming project being his baby. I recall a conversation someone had with Dave Free where he said that they were shooting for the next project to be Kendrick's Thriller. I'm smoking something good while writing this, so maybe I am reaching. Yes, it was a reach, but it's a quality reach, so it made the video. Congratulations. Now, in my original video, I stated that in the fight off to the far right, that the girl took a flag, a red flag. I guess I was set tripping for some reason. But it's obvious that he's wearing a big red belt, and that black kid one said that at age 16, she takes his belt, and Lil Raw 322 says, yes, that's a belt. That's a big red belt. I don't know why I didn't see that big ass red belt that he was wearing, and that's what they took off of him. That could symbolize, in my opinion, sometimes if you're in the wrong place and you are doing such a thing as false flagging, they snatch the colors off of you, especially if you're being robbed. So that could be what that represents. There are a few entertainers who could be accused of false flagging just a little bit, but we'll move on because we're trying to keep it peaceful and uplifting. So let's continue. Latrina Glenn 3173 said the photo backdrop represents specifically 1 hour photo. Also, the candlelight vigil is normal LA tribute for someone who died at a particular location, especially when it's a murder. So appreciate that information, Latrina, and everybody else who commented. Now we're going to get to a deeper comment. Jedzer commented. Shout out to Jedzer. He's always showing love in the comments. Now he says Dot refers to himself as the Black Noah in Hey Now. Now I'm going to paraphrase the rest of what he's saying. He's going to say the way Dot is not interacting with everybody who's partying around him. There's a party going on around him and he rarely interacts, right? So he has these references to a Black Jesus and a Black Moses, which we'll discuss later in the video. So if Dot is the Black Noah, as he referred to himself in the song, Kendrick is the one that decides who gets to live in the culture after the flood or after God's wrath. And Dot don't look like he want to be there while the people are partying like he knows the flood is coming. Hence watching the party die, so to speak, right? So very deep concept insight there by Jedzer. Appreciate that comment. Hey man, it's Kendrick. And if you're a fan of Kendrick, you know he used a lot of spiritual and religious symbolism throughout all his artwork. So let's continue. Next up, we continue with that same scene with the Nate Dogg CD spinning from the ceiling. Now, James Thomas 2410 commented that Nate Dogg also did How Long Will They Mourn Me with Tupac. I don't know how I forgot to mention that in the first video, but thank you for mentioning that, James. Robert 5150 says Nate Dogg's record had the artwork done by Mr. Cartoon. Mr. Cartoon is a Mexican tattoo artist who's done a lot of celebrities, which makes sense having that CD along with the scene with the Mexicans pop locking to the Debbie Dev sample, which is a Mexican backyard party classic, also referred to as a kickback. Somebody else commented that and we didn't get that comment, but thank you for those comments as well. It also shows how they put the multiple things in the scenes on purpose and that they kind of all link together as well. Again, this is a dope job they did with this video. Now, Po Boy Magic 80 comments that Warren G and Nate Dogg also on Poetic Justice soundtrack with Mr. Grimm. They also had a record on Poetic Justice soundtrack as well. Zulu Black 1212 said Isaac Hayes' Black Moses album was a double album, and so was the Roots album, which The Room is based on. The video The Next Movement. The Next Movement is on the album The Things Fall Apart. That's a double album, and so was, he says Tupac, but I think he meant the Nate Dogg album that's spinning from the ceiling was also a double album. Now, Brother Dave 26, he and I had a good conversation in the comments where he was informing me about the whacking out of the mural of Kendrick Lamar, that it was done by allegedly one of the Mexican gangs. So that's why Kendrick included a lot of Mexican and Latino culture, not only through the features on the album, but in this video as well. Now, this is one of the comments. He commented that the mural is on Tam's Burgers, which is in Santana Blocks, Compton Crips. Both Pyrus and the CC Riders are now united. Get it? And what he's saying is Kendrick is trying to include everybody because instead of making the whacking out of the mural a race thing and it increasing the tension between the African-American sets and the Latino sets, he's using it and he's trying to unite everybody and stop any kind of racial tension and any kind of increase in animosity. So great conversation with Brother Dave 26 and great information on that situation. Now, Son of 2022 dropped another comment where he said, another thing I noticed is the chandelier looking like an arrow pointing down on him as he holds a sign saying Jesus saves gangsters too, which is also the thumbnail for the video. When I looked it up, it's an organization made by a reform gang member that took his men to church to show them it wasn't too late to change their lives. Maybe this has something to do with his new project. And I definitely agree with that, especially if you listen to the lyrics throughout GNX, for sure. So next up, we switch to the Minister Society scene with the sisters dancing in front of the car. And everybody let me know what kind of car it was. I didn't really know. I took the internet's word for it, who said it was a GNX, and everybody said it's ridiculous because the GNX only came in black. Now, Leon Thomas 6175 said the vehicle in the video is an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. What's the popular car in the hood? There are a lot of Cutlass low riders from back in the day. Now, John F. Remedy 237 also agrees, says the tan car is an 80 to 87 Oldsmobile Cutlass, also known as a G-body. Shares a platform with the 87 Buick GNX though. Kism Chasm 3178 says the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme car GMA had the same. Oh, grandma had the same one, same color. That's funny. Hexamortis 1410 says it's a Cutlass, but still a G body. The G was the body code for the two-door 80s cars made by General Motors. So I appreciate all you brothers for chiming in on that. I'm not into old schools like that, except for maybe Monte Carlo, but that, I'm not gonna lie, that GNX Kendrick has on the cover art, I will buy that in a heartbeat. So thank y'all for chiming in with that info on the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Next up, we switch to the $40 price tag on the Jesus, the Black Jesus sign. Henyatta Piece 1, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Could the 40 be for E40? His song Tell Me When to Go, he said Jesus Christ had dreads. It's a reach maybe, but maybe not. That makes sense, especially with the lyric in there. Jesus Christ had dreads, that makes sense. And Geechee89 added about the $40 price tag. Could be for any of the LA area swap meets where the arts and clothes and music and everything else is sold. Probably a lot of Compton homes got their Black Jesus artwork from the swap meet. Both of those references make perfect sense to me. So let's continue. Now we got a little light shed on the Isaac Hayes reference, a little more, and Miss Heated Female, another great screen name and comment. Isaac Hayes III was talking crap about Kendrick on X, and he had taken Drake's side in the beef. He was very disrespectful. Nikki with 2 C's also added a comment saying, great breakdown. Here are the ones that I caught. The Room and the Black Moses are nods to Questlove and Isaac Hayes III, who were both critical of Kendrick during the beef. The balloons are him doubling down on the rumor that Drake has a son and a daughter. That's another one that I thought about, but I thought it was a reach, but that's a good catch. Now we get into last but not least, the Compton Christmas poster parade poster that he dropped at the end of the video. And Arctic Goddess commented that I think he's going to drop the other half of GNX on December 14th. Kendrick doesn't drop a Christmas poster for no reason. Also, Lefty Gunplay, who features on the album, let GNX Deluxe slip in an interview yesterday. And here's a short clip of that.
I rapped on that beat, got some stuff. I know he's got a deluxe version coming out. So I don't know what he got going. He's very yeah, but when you kick with him in person, he's cool, man.
And we get back to more confirmation from the comments. Joanna1 says, hello, Professor. I'm born and raised LA native. This year will make it the 69th annual Christmas parade. 69 God. Now that is just Kendrick being an evil genius and just everything working out perfectly like it's supposed to. That's just crazy. That's a crazy coincidence. Now Jonathan White 9353 also commented that the Compton Christmas parade is going to be led by a man that performed at the Pop Out, and that is Problem, aka now known as Mr. Jason Martin. Dope that he's going to be the master of ceremonies at the Compton Christmas parade, as well as probably being featured on whatever the deluxe album is going to be. I would bet a good amount of money that Jason Martin will be appearing on that album. And that is all we have, as it says on the screen. Thank you to everyone who commented. Even if your comment did not make the video, somebody probably beat you to the idea, or we just didn't see it, or whatever may have you. But thank you for participating. Thank you for everybody who always comments on any of my videos, even the haters. Even though you are banished to the shadow realm, that 1 or 2 comments that you got off did contribute to the channel in the algorithm one way or the other. So again, a big appreciation and shout out to all the fam that chimed in on this video in the comments section and gave great information. Appreciate y'all. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, hit the notification bell after that. Share the video, tell a friend and tell a friend. And thank you as always for tapping in to Professor Lex Hip Hop Examination, and we are out.